All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and open up the doors, if you would, please, to my wonderful co-hosts who I have with me. I have Phyllis and Marilyn and Sherry and AJ and Ruth Ellen. And my name is Becca Dukes. As the hostess of Daily with Doc, it is our honor and privilege to bring this program to you as a resource of hope, a message that is empowering, that allows you to take your health journey into your own hands by offering information that allows you to make good choices on what the body actually needs. And this is based on research, folks, decades and decades of research from a man who has done the research himself. He has been able to we as Daily with Doc, we are not here to take the place of your primary care physician, and our products are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure any diseases. But folks, when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. And the doctor that we have with us has seen a lot of dis-ease and evidence when nutrient deficiencies are present, and evidence of when there's toxic contaminations and what it does on the humans or animals that come in contact with it. So when you take his experience and what he has done over the decades and put it together in a format that is easy to obtain, easy to listen to, and then get the replays and listen again and share with somebody else, whether it's in your family, a friend. Folks, the more that we share, the faster we're going to be able to reach our communities and our world, so that that upward trend of disease starts going down, where we are not just surviving, but actually thriving. And that is my goal. Because I was at that just barely surviving, wishing I wasn't. And now I am thriving and looking forward to the future and being able to share this message with you, share the doctor that we have with us with you each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. This program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. And on our website, you will be able to find replays from our previous presentations for the last 3 years. You can also find information on the interviews that I have done with pharmacist Ben Fuchs, some of his special shorts that he has done that on the triangle of health, or the square of health, the triangle of wellness. My bad. Gonna have to look that up. But folks, we love to be able to take something that has been made so complicated and put it into a simple format that is easy to understand. And most of all, because of the formulations of Dr. Wallach and his team, it's easy to take action. We can do all the research in the world, but if we don't take action, we're not going to change a thing. So let's take action. And my goal is to make sure that you have this program as a resource, as a tool in your toolbox to be able to reach your goals, whether they have to do with your own health, the health of your family, whether they have to do with business, and creating an income stream based on thank you checks for sharing information that's helping others, not just draining their pocketbooks. There's so much to this program that I am so proud and honored to be able to stand behind and support. Now, if you were invited to watch this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them. They took the time, they cared enough to share this program with you because they knew that you would be hearing something that would touch you somewhere in your life, whether it's poor health, whether it's wanting to maintain health. It all works together. So I want to do a special shout out to all of those who are watching us on YouTube, and make sure that you are subscribed to and following Critical Health News Channel. Shout out to those on Rumble, which I met some of our viewers this past 4th of July. And it's just exciting to be able to meet people who have taken this message like I have, taken action in their own lives, put Dr. Wallach's research and formulas into their bodies, and just had amazing results, life-saving results, folks. It's fantastic. So I want to do a shout out to David and Maria out on Rumble. And then also Facebook. For those of you who are on Facebook, make sure that you are following Critical Health there and type in a comment, say hi, let us know that you are watching. And don't forget, you can share these programs, whether you're on YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook. You can share them to others individually or in groups. Feel free to share, because that's how we are going to be able to touch the world in a way that nothing else can. So without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you and bring to you for the next 45 minutes, Dr. Joel Wallach, who has a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, a doctorate of veterinary medicine with decades of research and lots of autopsies on 464 different species, folks, with his thesis held as a national treasure in the Smithsonian Museum, which I don't know anybody else that's done that, and 4 postdoctorates in pathology. And if that was not enough, he wanted to be able to legally make recommendations to humans. So he went back to the school that he was teaching nutrition at and decided to get a degree as a naturopathic physician as well. So folks, we've got a lifetime learner here who's not just book savvy, but has actually been in the trenches, collecting the data and putting it into books that we are able to obtain from drjwallach.com. Now he has over 23 books, almost 100 different audio or DVD
presentations.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And that doesn't even count all of the research papers that he's submitted that can be found on the website as well. So, folks, without further ado, I would like to bring on with me Dr. Joel Wallach. Now, Dr. Wallach, let me get you as a spotlight here. Hello and welcome to Daily with Doc, my friend.
Well, thank you so much for the kind introduction, and thank you for this whole team being here. It takes a team to get all this done. And so I'm really, really blessed with being able to work with each and every one of you and the people you're bringing along that need help. And I want to reiterate something that was the reason why we came out with the book Hell's Kitchen, which is named after this terrible district in New York City where there's more bad things happen than good things. In this New York City Hell's Kitchen, you can look it up, and it's very well documented. And this goes to the transfer of us being able to get nutritional minerals from our diet to not being able to get nutritional minerals. Now, our nutritional minerals were in our diet because we, for thousands of years, literally thousands of years, used wood and coal for fuel. We would take the wood ashes and coal ashes and put them in our food as a spice. We'd also put them in the gardens. We didn't know this. When we put them in the gardens, we got a bigger yield. Everybody knew that. That's why we're putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into the gardens, because you got a bigger yield. What they didn't know was that the onions and the beets and the carrots and the tomatoes and corn and the peppers and everything that grew in the garden were sucking up all these minerals. These minerals make up 95% of the wood ashes and coal ashes. The other 3 or 4 or 5% was the carbon. Okay. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, which is documented in this book, Hell's Kitchen, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. Within 18 years, by the turn of the century, 1900, our health care was in real desperate straits. Hell's Kitchen, okay? Because we had given up our source of minerals that we had been using in our food and our gardens for thousands of years, okay? And plants only need 3 mineral nutrients. We need 60. And so the plants would do okay. They weren't great, but they did okay. But we weren't getting what we needed. And in 1936, the U.S. Senate, the United States Senate, came out with a document, U.S. Senate Document 264, okay? It said, our farm soils no longer have sufficient minerals to support human life. Now, in the animal industry, you don't have health insurance like they do in the human health industry. And so the farmers, instead of having a veterinarian come out every week or every day and run up the bill, we learned in ag school and veterinary school how to add these nutrients to the animals' diets and prevent and eliminate over 600 different diseases. And so when I was 9 years old, I helped myself. I'm not going to go into that now, but I was able to help myself and was able to help create a business and an industry. And of course, it was in my book, The Wallach Revolution. It's a 75 years, 75-year transition from wood and coal to supplements. And then, of course, we also have epigenetics. That's me with the Yerkes monkey in 1976 when I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. And Yerkes Primate Center at Emory University fired me when I said that cystic fibrosis was not a genetic disease like they believed. It was a simple nutritional deficiency. And that's essentially when I went back to school to become a physician so I could treat people. Now, we have all kinds of great things going on. We have a flip chart, which is like 99.9% done. And Rebecca's putting the last little things in there so that it's, what they say, perfect from the standpoint of grammar and all this kind of stuff, and making sure the references are correct and so on. And it's going to be about 78 to 80 pages. And it goes into some of the biggest discoveries we've made over the last 75 years and some of the greatest famous people that we've dealt with their diseases and their community diseases. We're talking about pastors and movie actors and actresses. We're talking about Olympic athletes and professional athletes, university athletes. We're talking about very, what they say, successful business people. Okay, all different categories. And many of them, there's pictures of me with these famous people that we help get rid of their diseases with these nutritional programs. And so the stories are in this flip chart. And so this will be available. And the flip chart is going to help you give presentations to, say, 5 or 10 people at a table or a desk. Okay. And then after about a month, we'll get all kinds of feedback. And we're going to come out with a digital, did I get it right? A digital download. I got it right, I think.
Yes, you got it right.
Digital download. Okay, that's going to be an audio. Okay. And that you'll be able to use this audio as a presentation. It'll be a visual and audio. Okay. And you'll be able to put it in your computer and show it on the screen to, say, 10,000 people in an auditorium. Okay. And so we're kind of moving forward here with all this science and incorporating that. And we still, and people say, well, why do we have to supplement? My doctor says I can get everything I need just by eating well. Well, your doctor is not educated enough. Okay. I would just give him that, just say he's not educated enough on nutrition. Plants do not make minerals. Plants only need 3 elements from the soil. We need 60. Okay, where the other 57 come from? Well, back in the old days, they came from the wood ashes and coal ashes because we're using wood and coal for fuel. And then, of course, it wasn't the same in every place because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. So some places were very rich with these nutritional minerals, and some places where there's modest amounts, and some places are very little or none. That's why I have deserts and things like that where nothing will grow there. Okay. And so the only way you can guarantee you're going to get everything you need is to supplement. We learned that in the animal industry. And that's why you can afford to buy steaks and chops and hamburger and eggs, because we don't have to pay veterinarians to come out 3 times a week to treat disease in our animals. Okay. And so you're not having to pay for all that. And that's why you can afford to eat food. Okay. It's produced and grown by other people. So with that said, arthritis, we're spending right now today $626.8 billion to treat arthritis, not to prevent or cure it, but just to treat the symptoms. Also, we're spending to treat symptoms of diabetes $342 billion. Type 2 diabetes is very simple, makes up 90% of the diabetics. Okay, type 2 diabetics, and very simple. For literally just a few pennies a day, you can prevent and reverse type 2 diabetes. It's very simple nutritional deficiencies. Heart disease, very simple to prevent and reverse. Obesity, very simple to prevent and reverse. High blood pressure, $131 billion, oftentimes related to kidney disease and so forth. We have a wonderful program for that. We take people that haven't urinated in 10 years or on dialysis 6 days a week. We get them on our program, they start urinating in 2 weeks, and so they drop the dialysis down to 3 days a week instead of 6. And then in another 2 weeks, they're totally off of dialysis, and blood pressure is normal, blood sugar is normal, and so forth. And so it's one of those things where these are the common diseases, okay? It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, male or female, black or white, it doesn't matter. If you have bones, you're going to get osteoporosis and arthritis. Osteoporosis costs us, just to treat the symptoms each year in America, 2.3 trillion. 2.3, you heard me, trillion, 2.3 trillion. And the arthritis costs us $626.8 billion. So those two together is like $3 trillion a year we're spending on treating the symptoms of arthritis and osteoporosis, when we can prevent it for pennies. We can reverse it for pennies, okay? And so I urge you to keep in touch with us, keep watching and listening, because this flip chart's coming out in a couple of weeks. We're very excited about that. And again, if you buy, I think it will make it, if you buy 10 or so of them, you get a nice discount on them. Okay. Also, we're moving into, I don't know, 38 to 58 new countries. And we're setting up a system by which we're going to pay the shipping. When we send our books and these sorts of things to these various countries, we're going to pay the shipping, so that they're not going to pay shipping for these books and flip charts and that kind of stuff. So we're very excited about all this is coming. And then of course we have breaking news soon, because I believe we have found the cause, prevention, and elimination. I'll use that word, to the cause, prevention, and elimination of a very serious debilitating disease, which has just been a real bugger. Okay. And I believe we have found the way to eliminate it and prevent it. Now, the nice thing about it is people say, yeah, Wallach, there you go again. Well, this is because this initial individual that we've been able to help reverse the disease was being treated for 12 years, okay, in a very famous clinic. Every country in the world knows this clinic, because that's famous, okay? And it's one of those things where, what was going on there? Well, this particular individual was getting treated there and would go in for an annual physical every year for 12 years, and every year for 12 years, they just kept reaffirming that diagnosis, okay? And then sometime in about halfway through the 13th year, okay, before they got their 13th annual examination, okay, we put them on our program for that disease that we had created just specifically for that disease. And in 75 days, 2.5 months, 75 days, I always say give us 90 days. In this case, 75 days, that disease was gone in this individual. And when they went in for their annual physical in their 13th year, these people at this clinic said, wait a minute, this isn't right. Not positive anymore. So they redid it. No, it's still negative. They're scratching their heads still today. Okay, well, this is all going to be coming out here pretty quick. We're going to present it as a scientific article into a journal, okay, into a scientific teaching group. I'll just sort of leave it at that right now, right? You can say other things if you want to, Rebecca, but I'm going to just leave it at that. And when this comes out, I think this will probably come out in the next month. Is that going to be about right?
It may be in either August or September's journal,
Okay.
Dr.
Okay,
So
but it'll be
two.
coming out, it'll be coming out before that, but it'll be in that journal, and everybody will be able to acquire these, what do you call them? These will be,
It'll be a digital journal that'll be available to our certified holistic health coaches to be able to have just information, Dr. Wallach, because something that you have done is you look at symptoms, these little quirks, these little things that are going on that become big things. And you take, okay, this is going on. Let's trace it back to what the root cause is, because whatever is like in my fingertips, it didn't start in my fingertips. You look at, like Dr. Wallach is looking for this book right here. Uh-oh, now I'm looking
there you
for it.
go.
This one. It's all in your head. And we're talking about the vagus nerves, the 12 cranial nerves. They go throughout the whole entire body. The whole body is connected by nerves.
Yeah.
So if something is going on at the root of the nerve, you're going to have some type of referred pain, tingling, numbness. What was that?
Nocturia,
Nocturia,
urination at night.
polyuria. I mean, all of these terms that they have given these big long names for these simple little symptoms. And Dr. Wallach goes and looks at the root cause. Folks, when you look at the root cause and then figure out, okay, what is causing this to happen? And he goes through all of the research that he has done in pathology and looking at those symptoms that were going on and the nutritional deficiencies that were there also. And then he took it upon his heart to be able to reach people as well and put into clinical practice formulas, and then to see that his theories based on his research actually worked. I think that's just incredible, Dr. Wallach. And I'm here as one of those people that benefited greatly from what you have done, which is why I'm here and why it's an honor to be able to share you with the world.
Well,
So folks, when Dr. Wallach brought up was it Senate document 264?
Yes.
Talking about the soil, how even back in 1936, they noticed there was depletion. So think about our farming techniques that have happened since 1936. I mean, we've gone big scale since then, big tractors. I know I have a farm in a farming community where they used to go 18-foot spreads as they're pulling their tractors behind, or even shorter when they were pulling them by horse. And now they're doing 40 feet at a time with the plowing and the spraying. It's just incredible the scale of farming that's happening now. So the scale has increased greatly. That's taking nutrients out of the soils, but they're not putting them all back in. So if it's not in the soil, a carrot from 1936, Dr. Wallach, it's not going to have the same nutrition as a carrot from 2023, is it?
No, 2023 is going to be quite short when it comes to nutrition, okay, because they're not getting the wood ashes anymore, the coal ashes anymore. And it's one of those things where they also would put the manure from the animals in there. And so this is, although you would think of this as being primitive, but this is how people lived a long time and healthfully because they were getting all these nutrients from 3 or 4 different sources put into the soil. And so when you ate a carrot, you were eating a source of nutrients, mineral nutrients that came from maybe 25 different places, okay, in that carrot. Well, once we went to chemical fertilizers, okay, and electricity, no more wood and coal as fuel, suddenly now all those sources of nutritional minerals went away. And they recognized this in 1936. It was a big study. 1936, U.S. Senate document 264, American farm soils no longer have sufficient mineral nutrients in them to support human health and life.
So no longer have sufficient nutrients to support human life
In health, that is correct.
and health. And whenever we look at, I mean, you can tell by how many pharmaceutical commercials there are every time you turn on the TV.
Well, let me
People are
ask you a
sick.
quick question. It'll help people understand. Do you think there's many people that say, look, I need to save some money here, and I'm looking at my car, it's costing me a lot of money for putting oil and brake fluid and antifreeze and all this kind of stuff in there. I'm gonna do something different. I'm just gonna throw dirt from Texas in all those places. There's bound to be some oil in it because it's dirt from Texas. Do you think there's anybody that does that to their car, truck, or tractor? No, of course not. Nobody would be that stupid. Okay. Well, when you look at that, okay, and you say, I'm just going to take some of these drugs, okay, for my pain in my knees. Well, the pain in the knees will go away, but that process, that degenerative process in that knee is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Eventually, the doctor say, we need to give you a double knee replacement. And that's how we got with Pat Boone, who did the introduction to the book, The Wallach Revolution. Very famous actor, singer, Pat Boone. Yeah, he wrote the foreword, an introduction for this book, The Wallach Revolution, because the doctors wanted to give Pat Boone a double knee replacement because he had really terrible bone-to-bone arthritis, both his knees and his hips and everything. And one of his friends and colleagues brought him to us, and he said, well, I'll try anything. I don't want to, have my knees replaced with a piece of metal. And so he got on it, and he tells his story in the foreword of this book. He tells his story. So it's not me telling his story. He's telling the story, Pat Boone. I mean, how many books have a story from a famous person like Pat Boone telling how good the products were for them? Okay. And so we have others, like Danny Glover. The last chapter is written by Danny Glover. He was born with seizures and also born with epilepsy. And so we were able to get, when he was 40 years old, he couldn't get on the stage for any length of time because he started having, even with medication, he started getting seizures and all that kind of stuff. So we got him on our program, got him reversed and didn't have it anymore. And so he wrote the last chapter of the book, and he told his story, the last chapter of the book, The Wallach Revolution. Okay. You got two famous people that everybody know all over the world. Okay. And how we have helped them just with a diet, nutritional supplementation. They didn't have to have surgery. They didn't have to be on expensive and potentially dangerous pharmaceuticals. And so this is, in this flip chart, you're going to see, I don't know, about 12 or 15 pictures of me with these very famous people that we have helped because they didn't want to go the medical route, okay, because they had been seeing what was going on with the medical route and all the disasters and everything, and they couldn't perform anymore. We're talking about, Andy Young, talking about Evander Holyfield. We're talking about Theo Ratliff. We're talking about Kelly Herron, one of the first female All-Americans in basketball. We rebuilt her, and her career was over until we rebuilt her, and she came out of University of Tennessee, where she became an All-American, and she played professional women's basketball for 4 years, and now she's running around, doing the longevity thing.
Yeah, she's doing a great job, Dr. Wallach, and so is Theo. I mean, so many people have caught the nutritional bug. More and more people are waking up to it, Dr. Wallach, and there's so many companies out there that provide quote unquote supplements, but it's cherry picking whenever you try to get all of the nutrition that the body needs. I remember having a I had one of the biggest, deepest plastic containers full of supplements of what I would take each and every day. And I would take them out, put them on the counter, take one of this, two of this, two of this. And I seriously, I mean, you have a table full of supplements, and your table full of supplements has more nutrition in it than what my table full of supplements had. And mine were not synergistically blended, nor did I feel a difference when I took them. But I got on your program, not taking nearly as much as you do, and I started feeling fabulous. I started feeling that difference. And that's what we invite all of you who are watching us with us today, is to give us 90 days. Feel the difference, that complete supplementation of the 90 essential nutrients, more if you've already started going down that hill of decline, will be needed. But let's feel the difference. So make sure that you get back with the person that you heard about this program from. If there's nobody to thank, then we welcome you to come to dailywithdoc.com. You can use that contact option that is there on the website, but we also have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-3377. And this is for people who have not spoken to a health coach or a longevity associate before. We want to make sure that they get the credit and you get back with them for sharing this program with you. But like I said, if nobody shared this program with you, then we here as part of the Daily with Doc crew are here for you. And Dr. Wallach, we have some amazing coaches with their hands up. So let's go ahead and get to some questions, which is what this program is also about, in getting your recommendations for health conditions. So first, let's go to Hattie. Hattie, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Hattie.
Good morning. No, good afternoon. Thank you, Becca. Oh, gosh, I so love being here. And thank you for the books and everything that you've talked about so far today. I just wanted to ask a question about a gentleman. He's 61 years of age, 248 pounds, and he's 5'8". Due to a car accident, he had two of his vertebrae fused together in his neck. And so he's suffering a lot from, he says, anyway, he has back pain, hip pain, and he has diabetes and high blood pressure. And he's taking medications that he want to get off of. And he has a low libido, and he's really concerned about his prostate.
Okay.
Where would you begin?
Okay, well, he begins by getting rid of all the bad stuff. And he'll save a lot of money because bad stuff tends to cost money. So it wouldn't hurt him to get the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, 300 pages of safe recipes, safe cooking methods, and it gives you the good food, bad food list and tells you why the bad foods are bad foods. Okay. Absolutely no fried foods, no processed meats, no ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, all those things with chemicals in them, can't have them. Absolutely no gluten, no wheat, no barley, or oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats may be called gliadin, but it's still gluten. And they destroy your intestinal lining, so you're not efficient in absorbing nutrition, even if you're supplementing. And then absolutely, let's see here, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but it does have Fago, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are 10 times worse than gluten. And then absolutely, no buckwheat pancakes and that kind of stuff. No buckwheat cereal. All right. And then absolutely no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That means no diet drinks, no carbonated water, because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb nutrition, particularly minerals that are digest food. You need to get rid of all that carbonation. And then we want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. The full dose of everything twice a day. It's 215 nutrients in each one of those packs, but it has the core basic as the core of the 90 essential nutrients. Okay. And then we want him also to take the MSM, 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to help him support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. And then, let's see here, we want him also to have the collagen peptides. You can take a scoop of that in his morning drink, scoop of that in his evening drink. For the high blood pressure, we want him to get 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I do that, and I weigh 142. Take 3 twice a day. And if you're on high blood pressure medication, don't cold turkey off the medication. But as the blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. And then diabetes. You want to take the sweeties. His guy needs 2 bottles a month of the sweeties, so he can take 3 twice a day. I do that again. I don't even have it. I just take it to prevent it. Okay. It's very simple nutritional deficiency disease. And now let's see, if he's on medication, don't cold trigger off the medication, but as the blood sugar begins to drop, you can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. And then we have a support for the production of male sex hormones. Okay, it's called Zeratest, Xaratest, Zeratest. Okay, and you take 3 of those twice a day. It'll be 2 of the bottles a month of the Zeratest, and it helps your Sertoli cells, okay, and your testicles make testosterone. Also, we want you to have our I-26. Go ahead and I take 3 twice a day. Okay, we have the chewies. I like the chewies. They come in, I think it's
Vanilla or coconut banana.
oh, coconut banana coconut, yeah, and then the vanilla, like vanilla ice cream. Either one of those will work, and they're chewables. They're about the diameter. They're not a ball, but they're a flat diameter, like a quarter. Okay, and even little kids like them, and that's going to help with all kinds of stuff, including brain function, especially since he's had all this neck and back stuff going on. He'll want that I-26, and since he's a big fella, he needs to take at least. I'd have him take at least 2-3 times a day. That's what I take. And I weigh 142. He could take 3 times a day if he wants, but a minimum of 2-3 times a day. And so let's start there. And for pain, we do have the CM cream, which he could apply to his neck or shoulders or back or any place that he has pain. And it will give him about anywhere from 2 to 4 hours of pain relief. Okay. And and it doesn't fix anything, but it does give safe, natural pain relief. And so that's valuable. Okay. And you're going to save a lot of money when you stay away from all the bad foods, because bad foods tend to be expensive, and it will help you heal faster and quicker and more completely. So with that, back to you, Becca.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Hattie. And just for a little bit of clarity. So folks, that was a protocol for a gentleman, a man. Okay. Zeratest is because Dr. Wallach, do women have Sertoli cells?
No, but they do have special cells in their ovaries that produce estrogen. So we do have Zerafem for the girls. We have Zerafem for the girls. Thank you. Okay. And they can take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. And it will help, if they're going through menopausal problems and or they're young, they're having problems during their periods and scheduling and discomfort and everything. And so this helps the ovaries make the proper amounts of estrogen. Okay. So again, that's a Zerafem for the girls and Zeratest for the boys.
And then I have a question that goes deeper. So for women going through menopause, do they still need to have hormonal support or even after menopause?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because that has to do with lots of things, including mineralization of your bones. The female hormones were very, very important in maintaining the mineral balance in your bones. And so you see older women that have gone through menopause, they're the ones that get all these terrible things going on with osteoporosis and arthritis and fracture. I was just walking down the street and I fell down and I fractured my leg. Yeah, exactly. And so this is where you need to make sure you're having all this stuff. And again, we have vitamin D3, doesn't hurt to take extra of that. I take extra of that. I take 3 of those twice a day. That's all that table with all those bottles on it. I counted the other day, it's 37 bottles on that table. That's in addition to my 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs. It's also in addition to my Rebound. And of course, my Rebound at home, I'll drink the cans because I can pop the tops the night before, put them in the refrigerator so they're flat in the morning. And then when I go out, I will take the sticks in my shirt pocket, okay? And there's one serving of Rebound in here, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids, no carbonation. Okay, and we do have a canister. There's 36 servings in the canister. I don't like to take the canisters with me on an airplane because the guys who, are inspecting everything, they open up the canister and they look and they taste it and all that kind of stuff. And they don't put the tops on it properly and it leaks and powder everywhere and you lose your product. So if you're going to take stuff with you traveling, take the sticks. They're lights. They don't weigh as much as cans. They don't have the carbonation in them. And maybe we even get one of the inspectors to start taking it. Say they grab one of those sticks and put it in their mouth and they'll get some energy.
That would be awful sweet, but hey, to each their own. Well, let's go ahead and go over to Sherry, and Sherry has her hand up with a question for a client. So Sherry, thank you so much, one, for being one of our amazing co-hosts, but two, for being an amazing coach and helping others. What is your question today?
Thank you, Becca. This is for a 22-year-old female of slender build. I don't know what she weighs, slender build. During COVID, she developed Bell's palsy on the right side of her face. It lasted about 6 months. Her current blood work shows she has low blood platelets and is anemic. Any recommendations?
Yes. Okay. Well, Bell's palsy, is that the fifth cranial nerve, Becca?
Oh, I knew I had to remember these someday.
Yeah, I think it's the fifth cranial nerve. Okay. And where the side of your face droops and you get pain. Okay. And to have that for 5 or 6 months, somebody really needs to have their wrist slapped. Okay. Because you can get rid of this in just a few days or weeks at the most. And of course, this is where the book It's All in Your Head comes in. And we can look that up in the
Cranial nerve number 7, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, cranial nerve number 7. Okay, number 7. Cranial nerve number 7. Okay, Bell's palsy. And this shows a normal skull, 1/4 million thick. This is a skull that has osteoporosis, and the bone has been replaced with connective tissue. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. You can see where that would be squeezing all the nerves. And Bell's palsy, nobody should have it longer than a couple of weeks, okay? Because it's very simple nutritional deficiency disease, 7th cranial nerve, okay? And in the book, okay, in the
What
front
page?
I'm sorry?
You tell me the page and I'll hold it up for you.
Okay, I'm looking here. It's the
Is
page.
it the one that shows the 12 cranial nerves or the one in the back of the book that shows?
Okay, no, it's right after the stuff with the skull. It's the number 7.
I've got it.
Yeah, there you go. And this is the brain sitting on its back, and the bottom of the brain is up on top. And each of these little lines with a glob at the end of it is a cranial nerve, and going into all the diseases that are caused by the skull squeezing those cranial nerves. And then the spinal cord coming out of the back of the brain, okay, coming out, when it gets squeezed, you get what's called, let's see here, nocturia, where you're urinating at night, 3, 4, 5, 8 times a night. I actually had a woman a couple of days ago. She said the doctors were really very disappointed because they wanted to do prostate surgery to find out if I had prostate cancer because I'm urinating 10, 12 times a night, okay, every hour or half hour. And they remembered I'm a girl and girls don't have prostate glands, okay? So they were very disappointed because what was going on? Well, when the spinal cord comes out of the back of the skull, the opening in the back of the skull called foramen magnum, which is Latin for big hole, okay, is about the diameter of a quarter. But when you get osteoporosis of the skull, that goes down to the size of a pea and squeezes the skull, and you get 17 different diseases from your neck down, okay? And everybody wants to be sent to the doctors to get medical treatment, blah, 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 blah. But they're forgetting treating your sciatica, okay? You're missing the point because it all started up here, okay, in your skull.
So back to Bell's palsy, Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend for this young lady?
Okay. Okay, let's say she weighs 120, 130 pounds. I want her to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats. She obviously has osteoporosis of the skull. She needs to get a hold of that copy of that book. It's all in your head, so she knows what's going on. There's a CD that goes along with it. It's a set book and the CD. It's all in your head. And then I want her to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. It's going to rebuild the skull, rebuild her vertebrae, rebuild all that kind of stuff. And then I also want her to have let's see here. It's going to be the I-26. I want her to have 3 servings a day of I-26, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner time. And that's going to help rebuild the brain, okay, and the source of the Bell's palsy, because that 7th cranial nerve is being squeezed, okay. And then let's see here, we also need her to have the synaptive. She needs 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Okay, and the synaptive helps the brain cells talk to each other, and brain cells talk to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord talk to the brain cells, and so on. And so Bell's palsy will go away. Okay, platelets, again, the MSM is going to help because the platelets helps regrow the bone marrow, which is where platelets are made. If she has low platelets or she's anemic, that'll all be dealt with. And then there's a third thing. I can't read my own writing. Oh, anemic. Well, that's again, this will all go away because when you repair the bone marrow with the MSM and the collagen peptides, all those things go away because your bone marrow produces normal red blood cells, normal platelets, okay, normal white blood cells for your defense, normal antibodies to fight disease. And so it's most people never get to see their bone marrow, which is good because you have to pop open your bones and get a spoon, take some out, okay? So most people don't get to see their bone marrow. And you see bone marrow by a biopsy or maybe by autopsy or something like that. But if you take good care of your bone marrow, that alone can add many healthy years to your life. And if you're already on medication, it'll help you reduce the medication. In some cases, just totally get off of it. Okay. So Sherry, let us know what goes on there because you're going to have a great story. We deal with this literally thousands of times a month all over the world. And here in the near future, we're picking up a big group of countries. And so we're going to be, I would say we're going to be doubling the number of people that we have using our programs. So we're very excited about this. And so we are in good shape to treat over 600 different human diseases. And we've been doing it for 75 years. So we kind of have experience.
I appreciate that. Dr. Wallach, she doesn't take any products right now. Is there a specific body pack you'd recommend?
Well, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack.
Okay.
Okay, then she needs the secret sauces, right? She's MSM, she's the collagen peptides. Okay. And then I also want her to have the I-26 and the synaptives. Those are the secret sauces she needs to take in addition to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. You just can't take the 90. Okay, because the nutrients are in there, but it might take 6 months to a year to see some benefit because those are maintenance levels. When you have a disease and the doctor's wanting to give you prescriptions and everything, you want a higher level of those. That's why we have the secret sauces. And people say, well, why don't you say what it is instead of calling it a secret sauce? Well, then because everybody just runs to the store and buys a secret sauce. They just buy that one nutrient. They're missing the other 89 and they don't get the results they're supposed to get because you need it all. And so I learned from sad experience, guys said, well, hey, Lucy, whatever happened to Frank? I talked to you guys 3 months ago and haven't heard from him. Well, he did what you said. He took that mineral you said, and he died. Okay, well, he took that one mineral. He didn't take all 90. So I stopped telling people what that one mineral is for that reason.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, every mineral has a cofactor that helps the body be able to utilize it better. So that's one thing that I like about the secret sauces and not cherry picking, because the things just work together. Anemia is one of the things that I was able to overcome. And I didn't even know I was overcoming it. So just a wonderful side effect. Thank you so much, Sherry. And let's go to AJ.
Hello, AJ.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. How are you today?
Fine, sir. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Thank you. We have a male who's 35. He's 185 pounds, 6 foot, and he's a vegetarian. He's got about 5 issues here: hepatitis B, hair loss, hair thinning in the front and the crown. He's got low stomach acid. He's taking hydrochloric acid, but it's not helping. He's got what I'll call too early male sexual performance. He's got fatigue. When he exercises, his belly grows, but not his muscles. And he's wondering what he can do to improve these issues.
Okay. Well, he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. He's the kind of guy that needs to get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It has 300 pages of safe recipes, safe cooking methods. It has a list of the good food, bad foods list, because even vegetarians eat a lot of bad food. Okay. And of course, plants don't make minerals. Plants do make vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids, but they don't make minerals, and minerals make up 2/3 of our nutrition we need. And let's see here. Just remember that U.S. Senate document 264 came out in 1936 and said our farm cells no longer have sufficient amounts of minerals to support human health and life. Okay. Then we want him also to take our hair, skin, and nails. He can go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. Okay, it's going to help him with the hair loss. And again, he needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose, everything twice a day. Then I want him to have the ultimate enzymes. You go ahead and take 2 of those or 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal. I do that, and I only weigh 142 pounds. I take 2 before each meal. Okay. And then the 6th thing, he wants to get the Zera test. Get 2 bottles a month of Zera test. So he can take 2 or 3 of those twice a day of the Zera test. And that's going to help his Sertoli cells in the testicles make testosterone. Okay. And then for the fatigue, is that what he said was fatigue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, this is where the rebound comes in. Okay. And of course, we have the sticks, we have the powder, we do have the cans, but the cans do have carbonation in them. So you got to pop the tops on the cans if you're going to drink those, and put them in the refrigerator at night so that they're flat in the morning. But I like to take the sticks with me when I leave the house because there's no carbonation in the sticks. Also, there's 30 sticks in a box, and we have 75 minerals in our rebound. Red Bull, which is an energy drink, in fact, one of the biggest selling energy drinks, Red Bull, but only has 1 mineral, magnesium, in it. We have 75 minerals. We get our nutrition, we get our energy, we get our ability to do things physically from our minerals. And Red Bull uses sugar and caffeine for the energy. And so that's the difference between they and us. Okay. And so I think we've kind of covered the waterfront here. Okay.
And the hepatitis B is addressed in there as well.
Well, hepatitis B, I would go ahead and add, thank you for reminding me, I would have him add the colloidal silver. Okay. You go ahead and take a dropper full of that colloidal silver under his tongue on the right side, and another one under his tongue on the left side. Say 10 minutes for breakfast, 10 minutes for lunch, 10 minutes for dinner time. I do it also before bedtime. Okay. And I don't have these problems, but I do it just for prevention. But colloidal silver, there's no alcohol in it. Okay. And the hepatitis, all these nutrients in the healthy brain and heart pack, okay, will help him with his liver. Okay. And also the ultimate enzymes will help him with the liver. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle, the ultimate enzymes, because it does have the bile in it to help the liver do its job. Liver does 50 different functions. That's kind of like the bone marrow. Bone marrow does 50 different functions. Liver does 50 different functions. You rarely get to see your liver. Okay, maybe on an MRI, you'll see your liver. Okay, but you don't want to be seeing your liver because it'd be an autopsy if somebody cuts you open and looks at your liver. Yuck. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to look at the liver, Dr. Wallach, but we do want to try to get to one more hand that we have
Okay,
up
okay,
here
let's do it.
in the
Thank you,
Zoom. And Jeff, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hey, Doug, good to see you again. Glad you're doing well. Jeff
Yes,
here
sir.
from
Thank
Toronto,
you.
and I saw you in Honolulu once as well. My wife, we're on the, so she's on the tangy tablets, if I got the right name, Beyond Tangy Tangerine tablets. No, the tablets anyway, because we like the extra antioxidants in there. We got the OsteoCal and the Kiwi Mins we do for the Mins. Quick question. The question for me is, can she take some other, how do we attack gallstones? She has gallstones. Is there a way other than surgically to get them out of there
Yes, how
and to
much does she
break them
weigh?
down?
How much does she weigh?
So yeah, so she's running about 150, about 5'4", 49 years old, white.
Okay, does she have any diabetes or high blood pressure?
No,
Okay, good. All right.
and she's mid-menopausal.
Okay, so she needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no
Yep.
wheat, gluten, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet one's got to go. Okay, and even the carbonated water has to go. 150 pounds, I would have her take 2 of the healthy brain and heart packs per month. Getting rid of all the bad foods, you'll save a lot of money, so it won't be too bad to get the 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. And there's 215 nutrients in the healthy brain and heart pack, and then the core is still the 90. Okay, and then we want her also to take the, let's see here, I would have her take 2 or 3 of the ultimate enzymes, which are called the gallbladder in a bottle. She can go ahead and take those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal with a couple ounces of water. And then we want her to take the Rebound or sports drink. She can take 2 or 3 doses of that a day. Okay, but again, if she's going to take the cans, she needs to pop the tops on them the night before, put them in the refrigerators.
Yep.
So that the gas is all gone by the morning. But if she wants one immediately, she can, have the sticks, to cut the top off and pour it into a bottle of water, no carbonation in them. Okay, and then I said the Rebound. Okay, I think then she wants the Xerafem for her girly stuff. Okay, the Xerafem. She can go ahead and get
Yep.
2 bottles a month of the Xerafem. Go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those twice a day. Then I also want her to have the I-26. That's going to help her build female hormones. The I-26 will also help her build the female hormones. The female hormones are actually made out of cholesterol. If she needs to be eating eggs for breakfast, she needs to be eating eggs for breakfast. And then she needs the I-26. I'd have her take a minimum of 6 a day, 2, 2, and 2, because she's having trouble. And then don't forget that Xerafem and gallbladder in a bottle. That's the ultimate enzymes.
Sorry, how many enzymes a day, you said?
I'd have her take 2 or 3 before each meal.
Okay.
So she could go through 6 to 9 a day, depending on the size of her meals and that kind of stuff. Okay.
Mhm.
And then she has osteoporosis. She needs the MSM. She can go ahead and get 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time to help her rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between her vertebrae, bone makes one itself. And let's see here. She also needs a collagen peptide. She can take a scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop with her evening drink. And all of her problems should go away because all of these are simple nutritional deficiencies. We deal with these thousands of times every day all over the world. And we have such great positive feedback. So we know, and you have to appreciate that the BTT, not the BTT, I think, the Tangy Tangerine tablets are not the same as the powder.
Okay.
Okay. The powder has more nutrients in it than the tablets do.
Okay.
Okay. So I do
And
both.
yeah.
I honestly, I do both. I do the tablets and I do the powder. I do them both.
So
Okay, great.
Dr.
And
Wallach,
how long do you, oh, sorry, I was gonna say, how long do you think it takes for the, to maybe see some of the gallstones coming down? Is that 6 months, a year?
Oh, no. We're talking about weeks.
Okay. Great.
Dr. Wallach, you need to be going.
Yes.
So I don't want you to be late for your next appointment. Thank you again so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Thank you, Jeff. Great question. And no, it's not going to take 6 months to a year for gallstones to go away. I know that one for a fact. It happened rather quickly for myself anyways. If I could get my co-hosts on with me, we have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Phyllis Anderson, AJ, Atif Joseph, Marilyn Hazara Spear, and Sherry Browning here with me as part of our support team in bringing this program, Daily with Doc, to you as a resource to give you what you need in your toolbox to be able to help yourself, your community, and together we can help the world in making sure that the knowledge and the importance of nutrition is heard. Because folks, we're not chemical deficient. We're mineral deficient. We're nutrient deficient. And when you take the deficiencies away, we're able to thrive so much better. So thank you once again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. Get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is nobody to thank, feel free to join us on dailywithdoc.com, where we have a newsletter. So anybody and everybody can subscribe to our newsletter, where we are sending out information, including links to our replays with descriptions to make it easier for you to be able to share with other people. So I hope, and I heard a lot of people send back emails thanking us for having that available, because it makes it so much easier for them to help those that they know and love in finding the right program to share. So just want to make sure that everybody knows that that is what our newsletter is all about. Plus, we have some additional articles that are going to be coming out on the website. We have the good foods, bad foods list. So as you mentioned, or as you heard Dr. Wallach mention many, many times, the good foods, bad foods list. You can find that on dailywithdoc.com. We also have additional helpful articles, including one of the greatest lectures ever told, The Dead Doctors Don't Lie, or Somebody Should Go to Jail. You will find those programs on our website as well. If you are looking for a health coach or want to become a health coach, let us know. Go to dailywithdoc.com and click on Contact Us. We'll get some information to you to help you make that educated decision on which way you should go, whether you want to be coached or coached. And again, this is for people who are not working with somebody already. We are a resource for an amazing community, and we want to make sure that we support that community with integrity. So without further ado, I think I covered everything, Ruth Ellen. Yep, I got the nod. So folks, thank you so much again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as always, be empowered. Bye for now.